Hello and welcome to Darren's Travels. On this channel, I talk about traveling the world if you're a guy by yourself and if this is your first trip overseas. Today, I'm going to talk about coming home, and I'll just talk about three things when you're preparing to come home for your trip, or actually when you get home also. After you take your trip, the first thing you need to do is make sure before you leave is you give back all the local cash that you took out. And so you don't want to come home with, you want to get dollars to come back to the U.S. You don't want to come home with foreign currency and then try to find somewhere here in America to switch your foreign currency back to U.S. dollars. Always try to get, the reason why you don't is because you're going to get, the exchange rate is terrible overseas. Back here when you try to get your dollars back. So when you're overseas, before you leave, like the day before you leave, try to go to a bank and give them your local currency and ask for U.S. dollars back. And they'll give you, I can't remember if it's exactly the fair dollar for dollar, but it's not too bad. And it's not a lot better than if you try to do it at the airport or if you try to do it back here in America. So make sure you give back all your local currency that you were using in your trip before you come home. Definitely don't use those currency exchange stores, anything like that to try to get dollars back, because the exchange rate is going to be terrible. Not the exchange rate, but the money that you get back is going to be terrible. So try to find a bank when you're overseas. The second thing I'll talk about is jet lag. You probably heard about it and you know what it is. It's basically when you're traveling and you're crossing all those time zones coming back, you're going to feel kind of different. You're going to feel kind of sick, kind of like that for about a day or two. And that's jet lag. That's completely normal. Ironically, and again, I don't know the scientific part of this, but you don't really feel it going to Europe, but you feel it coming home for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I always do. So like I said, the next day or the next couple of days, you kind of feel like you kind of have a slight cold. And so that's what jet lag is. And so if you feel that way, don't worry about it. And then finally, I'll talk about how to answer the question that your family and friends and everybody's going to ask you is, they're always going to ask you, how was your trip? And you're going to have so many memories and you're going to have so many things that happen to you. It all kind of gets blended together and you won't be able really to answer that. So again, my tip, and I read this in a book somewhere, is that you come up with one, maybe two good stories that you can tell when they ask you, how was your trip? And tell those stories. That'll help you, like I said, come out with something out of, the 25 different things that you have to choose from. Say that one story. So anyways, hope that helps. Again, that's kind of coming home. The thing that you need to worry about is make sure you don't bring any foreign cash home with you. If you do feel jet lag, don't worry about it. That's normal. And then finally have one good story for your family and friends when they ask you, how was your trip? Hope that helps. And I'll talk to you next time. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.